Thanks for listening to the Coffee with Jim and James podcast. On this episode, we're going to highlight some of our favorite guests from the American Gas Association's Biennial Operations Conference. We hope you enjoy, and don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn for more interviews.
You can tell because we have a countdown.
Well, we're a well-oiled machine, Karen.
A++.
Karen.
How do you say your last name?
Harbert. Unless you're in Louisiana.
Well, that's what I said today.
You could say Harbert.
Harbert.
And then I sound like
conversation we
royal.
had.
I said that
We're gonna
today.
go with Harbert
Didn't I
now.
say that today? I said if she was
you
from
are-
Louisiana, it would be Harbert.
Harbert.
So-
I made that mistake once.
Wow.
Called an A-Bear Herbert.
No,
Didn't go well.
Right. It doesn't go well the other way around.
No. Yeah,
I'm
we're-
happy to be either one.
Karen, thank you so much
Thanks for having me.
for this wonderful event, the biennial. I know I've been an industry guy for 20 years. This is something we always look forward to. It's not just the gathering and the relationship and all that, but when you go through here and you see the innovation that is in our industry right now and coming all the time, it's fantastic. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, no pun intended, but the energy in this room is incredible. And the
Unbelievable.
passion, and the industry is so excited about all the innovations that you can see here.
It's incredible.
I mean, it really is. I mean, you're looking at the big rigs. You're looking at, smart pigs. We're looking at,
Technology
remote Swift-
everywhere.
Everywhere. And it's the only thing that's different between this year and 2 years ago
Yeah.
is the pace of change. I mean,
No
it's
doubt.
just accelerating,
From
which
2
is so
years
exciting.
We
Yeah.
came out of that pandemic. I remember we were here 2 years ago doing the show.
In Orlando.
And we talked about the energy that time and that missing element we had of that connection, that in person, and how we thought everybody got together and really gelled, and we got back together. And I think this is the output of it.
Well, I think you're right. And I think, who benefits from that? It's not just the industry, it's our customers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it is our employees, very important. I mean, the safety equipment that is here, the ability to make their jobs, do them better, easier, more. I just love it. I think we're
Safer,
we're
more
singing.
productive
Yeah.
to provide safe, reliable natural gas to across the United States.
And don't forget, 24/7, 365, because that's our obligation, and we
guarantee is that.
we do it.
Listen
Woo!
to that. Love it.
We're
They
excited.
were cheering for you, I think. So, Karen, throughout the last 2 days, we've been talking to folks about committees and the importance of that work. And so many people came and they told us about why they did it, why it was important, the value. A lot of people sat down and said, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that engagement with the AGA. So we've been challenging folks, right? The people back home and the folks coming on, how to inspire those people to join the committees and get involved with the AGA. So we're going to ask you the same question.
Awesome. Well, there's a hallmark of this industry. It's collaboration.
Yes.
And I just think that's so important. We're better because of it. Our members are smarter. We're smarter because of the
Without a
engagement and the collaboration. And engaging in best practices and all the lessons learned. We don't have to recreate the wheel. We learned that in COVID. The important thing is, if what was happening in Washington, we need to know it for New York, right? And so as we look at what is happening right here in our committees and all the meetings that we're having over the course of the next couple of days, it is so amazing to see the collaboration. When things are great, they want to share the success. They don't want to own it. It's not a competitive advantage.
Yep.
And let's be honest, if something doesn't go well, they want to share that too, so
Well,
that nobody else has to suffer through it.
To be better, right?
To be
Let's
better.
always try to be better. Luke Litteken this morning is an old friend of mine. I've known him since 2002, and he challenged us all. He said, we all get it. Let's get out of our echo chambers and start just sharing the knowledge and educate folks as to the realities of the energy industry. It'll help everybody. And so he had great words. It was 6 a.m. this morning. We were in a committee meeting. I will say that.
Part today, I want you to know. We went
You guys
on
been
at
hard at work.
6:45 this morning. We spoke at a committee, so we did our part.
You're doing your field work.
We did it. Now we're
Without
back
a
to
truck.
report. It's the good work. You should do it.
Yeah.
You should do it with us. There's a seat available, right? Karen, thank you so much.
Thank you for
letting
having us.
be a
Thank you for
part of
being
this.
live. Thank you
Thank-
for your support.
It's
Thank
an
you so much.
amazing event already.
It's awesome.
And we still have 2-3 days. 2.5 days left.
Yeah, we got time.
I count.
Well, Thursdays, yeah, we got a
we're
day
gonna be here
Thursday.
all night, right? You're
Yeah.
not gonna kick
Oh,
us out.
we're-
We're not
all
leaving.
night.
We're
Listen.
sleeping here.
Look at this.
Hey, you can. There's some trucks you could sleep in.
That's on the next episode.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Hey, we'll be back.
Thanks, everybody.
We're back live at the AGA day 1, day 0. What is this?
I'm going to
Day
say
two? It's day 2 for me.
it's
already.
day 2. Yeah, yesterday was a good
Volunteer.
kickoff day. evening reception with the committee members. Please, old friend of ours, John. John, introduce yourself, please, to the audience.
John Bozarth, Director of Pipeline Safety at Ameren, Illinois. Glad to be here at AGA.
Shout out. That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about AGA. We're talking about the committees, the awesome committees going on right now, which I know you're a very important part of one of those. Is that correct?
Well, I've been on the Quality Management Committee for many years, blessed to have been the chair, and we've done a lot of interesting projects there. We have a lot of things that we're working on, but it's a collaboration that we have at the committees, and you get good involvement, and you can take an idea and refine it, or get an idea from somebody else and find those one or two key nuggets that you're going to take back and implement. And so, that's really for me when I come to these events, when my team comes. It's always finding that one or two things that I'm gonna go back and implement, and then it's also the networking and the ability to park an idea, and then when it comes back up, I know who to reach out to really dive in a little deeper. So really, that's a lot of the value that I get out of these committee meetings.
That's what we've been talking about.
We've just been talking about it, and John answered two of my follow-up questions and what you just said.
Yep.
No, really, the value of the committees, the cross-collaboration, where people really look at it from all sides and they take it back for the betterment of really the constituents or the clients that they serve. And
Absolutely.
That's the best thing. Best practices, safety, innovation.
John, why should people get involved? Why should more people get involved?
Well, I think first and foremost, become an expert in what you do, right? And so, or at least continue to grow. This industry, certainly since I've been in it in the last 20 years, it's changing and evolving. And it's going to continue to do that. So, not only what the industry is, the current state, but where we're heading and where do we want to take it. So there's a lot of those conversations that can be had here, and really just again, it's meshing of ideas with peers, with our vendors, coming up with good solutions. Having come from manufacturing engineering prior to coming into utilities, there wasn't a lot of peer collaboration, and I think that's one of the things that, maybe it's not unique to this industry, but it's certainly a strength of this industry. So, be a part of the bigger team by expanding your network.
Love it.
There's a seat available for you. Come
Thank
join
you.
us.
Okay.
John. Appreciate what
All right.
y'all are doing over there at Ameren. Hey, we'll be back. Jimmy, someone's here that I don't know that I can say this about many people in this world. Someone that's painted us. As weird as that sounds, but it's
heart touching. Heart touching. We received a hand painted picture of you and I on a Zoom call one time by Mr. Jim Francis.
And I won't lie, I cried that day.
So did
I think
I.
I was already emotional, like I was going through
Cutting
something.
onions.
It was like depressed anyway or something. And then I got that, and it really did. Just to think that someone spent enough time. I think I told you that you had to stare at us for 20 hours or whatever it took. That's enough.
And if we ever get divorced, the problem, I mean figuratively.
Canceled.
Canceled,
That's
yeah.
what we call
Who
it.
gets the picture? Who gets the painting? Is it you or is it me?
We'll work it
or do we have to do like
That's what copiers are for. You can
We'll let Jim
make a print
decide.
of it.
Yeah.
I was going
Let
to
Jim
paint
print.
Steve Allen, but I had this concept of him and this tree.
Kenny
with
Rogers?
maple. It was
Oh.
going to be called Old Man by the Tree.
Oh
Old
my
Man in the
goodness!
Tree.
You heard that? Shots fired. We're gonna have to have Steve on. later
Yeah,
to
yeah.
talk about
I think
that
this is a
moment.
good one.
I thought you were gonna make some like a Netflix adaptation version of Kenny Rogers. Painting of. That's what I see when I see Steve.
you
Just
got-
the gambler.
Yeah, you got to
He
know
looks a lot better.
when to
His
hold
face is
them.
natural. He looks a lot better.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's great.
No doubt about
Wait,
it. What
Jim,
are we doing here?
Please
Yeah,
introduce
some people
yourself.
don't know you.
Yeah, talk about your company a little
Yeah.
bit. Let's get some of the logistics out of the way.
Sure, Jim Francis, Entrust Solutions Group. So we service the entire industry and probably every operator that's out there. So
In every way, I think now too.
Yeah,
There's a lot
yeah.
of different groups within there. Yeah.
yeah, we're 3,500 strong. So way back in the day, I hired Ian Engineering to do some work for me on the integrity programs, and I think they had 150 employees at the time. And now we're 3,500 employees, and we're doing gas, electric, fiber, you name it, we cover it.
Boy, lots of friends over there.
Yeah. I
Well,
mean, go ahead. I mean,
I was just going to say, we are at the AGA with day 2 here. And we have committee meetings going on all behind us. I assume you've been on a committee or two in your time?
Oh, yeah, a few. Started with the engineering committee way back when, and now I'm on the quality management committee because we're talking about all things PSMS. So.
Speaking of
And,
Steve Allen.
and
right?
PSMS, too, another icon, guru in the industry. You live, eat, and breathe PSMS, and much accolades and applause to that. But I have a question for you. We have a lot of folks that have been on committees for years and years and years, and then there's some in the audience that are, in the industry and are saying, should I not, should I make the, effort? What do you want to tell those folks that are kind of saying, maybe I should check it out? What's your takeaway that they could gain from joining a committee?
Yeah, actually, I met a guy this morning who I hired when I was at a former company, and then part of that company got sold, and so he and I had never met face to face.
Okay.
And so now he's here this week, and he was just sort of blown away by the opportunity to connect with all the other people in the network.
So
and
valuable.
the best part about it is you're sharing best practices, you're meeting people that have common problems, all the things that you guys can sort of work on together, and this is a great environment for it. So,
We've heard it over and over.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Really, it gives you a different lens, however you want to put it.
Yep.
My friend with the pipeline, however you
Yeah.
want to say it.
Yeah,
I love
exactly.
it. Yeah,
Right.
love it. Well, Jim, we could talk all day, and we probably should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we don't need to do it on
Thank you
camera.
for taking the
Good
time.
to see you guys again.
All right.
Absolutely.
We'll be back.
Yep, good show.
Oh,
So I'm Mike Bradley.
that's
I'm
the
a
region.
director of utility services and program compliance at Everline.
At Everline. Wonderful.
Very nice. I've heard
We
of
know,
them.
yeah,
I've
we
heard
know
of
you
them.
folks well. You guys are good. You guys do great stuff. Mike, we pulled you aside. We are talking to folks today about the power of the AGA committees and what they do. You want to give us a little insight as to what you do in the committees and what it means to you and it could mean to other people in the industry?
Yeah, sure. So I sit on the quality management committee, have for a few years now. Originally joined it because it was a committee focusing on PSMS, and that was a big part of what I
Yep.
was working on at the time. I've changed companies twice since then, but stayed with that committee because I, for one, enjoy that those folks are often responsible for things like OQ, audit, quality control, quality management systems, PSMS. These are all topics
Damage preventions.
that
Yep.
really hit home for me as a former regulatory and risk guy. And I go for the debates. I go for essentially sort of a microcosm of an AGA best practice, but in a committee session. So without being an operator, I can't participate in
Yep.
the AGA best practice process. But instead, I can share what I learned from our large client base or other operators I've worked with previously or for. And at the same time, I'm hearing kind of what's latest and greatest in the large IOU space and what are people working on and what are the trends.
Mike, those are all great reasons. What we're asking everybody just for AGA, why should somebody get involved? What's one thing that, if you could share with people, why they should be here?
Well, where else are you going to get that density of best practice sharing in one session?
Yeah, without a doubt.
That's great. That's perfect.
4,000 people here this week, probably by the end of Wednesday. Everybody showing up big in Texas.
Yeah.
Where can you get that kind of folks all in one saturation? Fantastic.
That's it.
All right.
Thank you, friend.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Good to see you.
Likewise.
All right. Hey, we'll be back. We got it?
James,
Yes, sir.
kicking off day 2
Yeah.
with friends, one of our good friends, a friend of mine and Tammy's is Danny from Dominion. I wanted to get Danny on, and Danny's like, he volunteered somebody.
Look, there he is right behind
There
you.
he is, right over there.
He just photobombed us. He knew it, too. He's laughing about it. He likes it. Yeah, I told him this morning, hey, you got to get on. He goes, no, I got a guy. I got a
knows a
guy.
guy.
I know a guy.
You're the
Apparently
guy.
You're
I
that
think
guy.
You're the guy.
Welcome to the show, sir. Justin, do us a
Thank you.
favor. Let everybody know who you are and who you're with.
Sure. Justin Inman here. I'm with Dominion Energy, North Carolina and South Carolina. I am the DIMP engineer for the Carolinas, so Distribution Integrity Management Program.
Yeah, see, Steve Allen taught me
I'm
that.
telling you right here, they'd
Yeah.
get along great.
I love it.
How long have you been coming to AGA
About
events?
3 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So fairly new, really.
And your committee involvement for 3 years, or are
Yes.
you new? Okay.
On the DIMP committee for 3 years now. That's right.
Okay.
So we're trying to inspire folks to come out here, right?
Of course.
There's a lot of folks that aren't as blessed to make it out here like we are here in Grapevine, and so we're asking people, if you could tell folks back at home why they should get involved, why they should work on committees. Do you have any inspiration for them?
Absolutely, I do. I think the biggest benefit to the committees is the technical discussions that are held, what you learn. You get to interface with your industry partners and find out how other utilities are responding to code changes. And everybody has a different and unique gas system. Every utility company does, and people do things different ways. And so coming to these committee meetings and these conferences, you just get to get other perspectives on the interpretations of the code and how other people are handling things. It's a big benefit.
I'm telling you what, that
knowledge
could have been.
share and collaboration. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's it.
Awesome. Well, Justin, appreciate the work that you do, both at Dominion and
Absolutely.
also
Yes.
for the AGA, and look forward to seeing you again here.
Look forward to seeing y'all too.
Thank you for
very
taking the
much.
time.
Come
stopping
join us
by.
next time, no?
Yeah, we want you next.
We'll be back.
Come on.